Hello, everyone. Bill Murphy here from the Sports Insanity Network, and welcome to another exciting edition of Murphy's View. Well, today's game that we are talking about the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers. A lot to cover today. Both teams coming off losses and some big news regarding one of these teams. So you know what? We are going to start with, are you going to San Francisco 49ers? Are you going to San Francisco? Make sure you wear some flowers in your hair. Okay, will the estate of Scott McKenzie please not sue me for that? I am very sorry. So last week, the 49ers are coming off a loss last week to the Atlanta Falcons, 28-14. Last week, Jimmy Garoppolo, he threw 29 completions out of 41 attempts, 296 yards, 7.2 average, 2 touchdowns, 2 INTs, and a QBR of 36. And 2 receiving touchdowns from Brandon Aiyuk, on top of his 8 receptions, 83 yards, 10.4 average, and he was a target 11 times. So that was San Francisco last week, but you know what I got to talk about, folks. You know what we have to talk about. Yesterday, the San Francisco 49ers, in exchange for a second, third, and fourth round pick in the 2023 NFL draft and a fifth round pick in 2024, they have received from the Carolina Panthers Christian McCaffrey. You know what that deserves? Applause! 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 Welcome to San Francisco, Christian. Good luck. We wish you the best. Now, I think, Christian McCaffrey right now, his stats for the year so far are 85 attempts, 393 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a 4.6 average. So right now, I think Christian McCaffrey can really beef up this offense in San Francisco. I think now you have a strong running back. You have a strong running back in McCaffrey. And for instance, and this has increased the chances of San Francisco on Sunday. Like, for instance, if you look at the betting odds, Kansas City went from 2.5 favorites to 2-point favorites. So I know that's a small thing, but think about it. That is a big move. Okay, it's a smaller move, but you get the point. But so anyway, I think McCaffrey, if he stays healthy, is going to be a asset to San Francisco on Sunday. But going down the road, my big problem with McCaffrey is that he is very injury prone. Like, he spent the last 2 seasons on the IR for a significant time. In 2020, he suffered a high ankle sprain, and he was placed on the injured reserve from September 23rd to November 7th. and then suffered a shoulder injury and was out the rest of the season. And then in 2021, okay, by the way, 2020, that's when my fantasy curse started, by the way, folks. He was my number one pick. And then he got injured. Thank you, Christian. Thank you. Okay, and then in 2021, Christian McCaffrey also got on the injured reserve because of a hamstring injury. And then he suffered another ankle injury. But to be fair to McCaffrey, even in those years that he was injured, like in 2020, he finished with 225 yards, 3.8 average, and 5 touchdowns in rushing, and 149 yards, 8.8 average, 24 long, and 1 touchdown receiving. And last year with touchdowns, with rushing, 442 rushing yards, 4.5 average, 18 long, 1 TD. So he's got the numbers. But the big factor for McCaffrey with San Francisco is, can he stay healthy? Can he not be injury prone? Yes, injuries are part of football, but this happened 2 years in a row. So that would be my big concern if I'm San Francisco. Can McCaffrey stay healthy? That's my big concern. Now, shooting over to Kansas City, coming off probably the biggest win of the year. Well, biggest win, well, they lost. Coming off one of the biggest games of the year. The Kansas City Chiefs losing a rematch of last year's divisional round against the Buffalo Bills by a score of 24-20. Pat Mahomes threw 25 completions out of 40 yards, 40 attempts, 338 yards, 8.5 average, 2 touchdowns, 2 INTs, and was sacked 3 times with a QBR of 54.6 and an RTG of 85.2. And also a touchdown from Juju Smith-Schuster. 5 receptions, 113 yards, 22.8 average, and 1 touchdown. And Mecole Hardman, 3 receptions, 42 yards, and 1 touchdown. So, okay. Chiefs are 4-2 right now, but they are shaky right now without Tyreek Hill. Like, the connection between Mahomes and Hill last year was phenomenal, and I think that's what really kept that team going, was that connection. But now, he's got new targets. He's got Travis Kelce. He's got Juju Smith-Schuster. So that's my thoughts with KC. Now, what are going to be the X factors for these games? Well, like I said, I think it's going to be a running back battle for McCaffrey for the 49ers and Clyde Edwards-Helaire for the Chiefs. Like, he's also been a big addition to this offense. But, like I said, with McCaffrey in San Francisco, he's got to stay healthy. The guy has got to stay healthy. Anyway, because I'm also reading from Arrowhead Pride right now that the that the big X factor for the Chiefs is going to be not just Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but it's going to be covering McCaffrey. It's going to be covering Deebo Samuel. That defense is going to have to make sure they stop McCaffrey and make sure they block off Samuel and Kittle. That is going to be the biggest thing for the defense in Kansas City. And I'm going to tell you this. I think it's going to be a very close game. And I think San Francisco is going to give Kansas City a run for their money. But at the end of the day, I think Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce is really going to pull out the win. So I am going to say Kansas City 27, San Francisco 24. Now, if you like what you see here, and why wouldn't you? Because this content is amazing. Go to www.thesportsinsanitynetwork.com. Check out our blogs. Check out all our podcasts. And much, much more. This has been Murphy's View. I'm Bill Murphy. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and take care, my friends.